Operation Alsos found no bomb, but they did find a bunker full of uranium cubes. For years after the war, a chilling question lingered. How close did Hitler truly come to developing an atomic bomb? The Allies certainly believed it was a real threat, pouring immense resources into their own Manhattan Project, often driven by the terrifying possibility that Nazi Germany might get there first. The idea of a German atomic weapon wasn't just Allied paranoia. Germany, after all, was the birthplace of nuclear physics. In December 1938, Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann, working in Berlin, made the groundbreaking discovery of nuclear fission. This wasn't merely a scientific curiosity, it was a revelation with apocalyptic implications. Their discovery, published in January 1939, sent ripples through the international scientific community. The potential for an explosive chain reaction, a weapon of unprecedented power, was immediately apparent to those in the know. Albert Einstein, a German Jewish immigrant, was among the first to grasp its full, terrifying scope. Einstein, along with Leo Szilard, famously wrote to President Roosevelt in August 1939, urging American action. They warned that Germany might already be working on such a weapon, citing the cessation of uranium sales from Czechoslovakian mines, then under Nazi control, as a worrying sign. Indeed, Germany had established the Uranverein, or Uranium Club, shortly after the invasion of Poland in September 1939. This top-secret project brought together some of Germany's most brilliant minds, including Werner Heisenberg, Carl Friedrich von Weizsäcker, and Paul Hardecke. Their initial focus was on creating a nuclear reactor, a uranium machine, to harness fission for energy or, more ominously, to produce plutonium. Heavy water, a rare isotope of water, was deemed crucial as a moderator to slow down neutrons and sustain the chain reaction. This led them to Norway. The Vemork hydroelectric plant, located in the remote Telemark region, was the world's only commercial producer of heavy water. Its strategic importance quickly became apparent to both the Germans and the Allies. The Allies, fully aware of Vemork's significance, launched daring commando raids, most famously Operation Gunnerside in February 1943. Norwegian saboteurs, trained by the British, destroyed the plant's heavy water production facility, a critical blow to the German program. But the heavy water supply wasn't the only hurdle. The German scientists were plagued by a combination of scientific missteps, bureaucratic infighting, and a general lack of resources. Unlike the Manhattan Project, which received virtually unlimited funding and manpower, the Uranverein was comparatively starved. One key individual was Nobel laureate Werner Heisenberg, a brilliant but controversial figure. His understanding of reactor physics, particularly the critical mass needed for a bomb, was at times flawed. Some historians argue he deliberately slowed the project, while others contend he simply made mistakes. The Germans never managed to achieve a sustained chain reaction in a nuclear reactor. Their most advanced experimental reactor, B-Roman 8, was built in a cave beneath a church in Hagerloch, southern Germany, in late 1944. Inside, 664 uranium cubes, each weighing about 2.3 kilograms, were suspended by wires in heavy water. They hoped to reach criticality, the point where the reaction becomes self-sustaining, but they never did, falling short by a crucial margin. Allied intelligence, however, was in the dark about the true extent of Germany's progress. They feared the worst. Operation Alsos, a top-secret mission, was launched to follow the advancing Allied armies, securing German nuclear materials, facilities, and crucially, the scientists themselves. As the war drew to a close in April 1945, Alsos teams finally reached Hagerloch. They found the B-Roman 8 reactor disassembled, its precious uranium cubes hidden in a nearby field, buried in a manure pit. The heavy water had been dumped into the cellar. The capture of these materials, and more importantly, the German scientists, offered the Allies their first definitive answers. Werner Heisenberg, Otto Hahn, Carl Friedrich von Weizsäcker, and others were rounded up and taken to Farm Hall, a stately home in England. Unknown to them, their conversations were secretly recorded. These farm hall transcripts provide an extraordinary insight into their work, their frustrations, and their reactions to the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Their initial disbelief at the news of Hiroshima was palpable. They hadn't believed the Allies could have built a bomb so quickly. Heisenberg, in particular, was shocked, realizing his own calculations regarding critical mass had been significantly off. The transcripts confirmed that the Germans were nowhere near building a bomb. They hadn't even achieved a working reactor. Their program was years behind the Manhattan Project, hampered by a lack of resources, strategic blunders, and perhaps a degree of moral reluctance from some scientists. So how close was Hitler to building the bomb? The answer, definitively, is not very. While the foundational science was German, the practical application, the industrial scale, and the focused effort required for such a monumental undertaking was simply never realized under the Third Reich. The fear, however, was real and understandable. The specter of a Nazi atomic bomb fueled the Allied effort, driving scientists and engineers to achieve what once seemed impossible. In this grim race, the Allies, thankfully, crossed the finish line first. The story of the German atomic project is a stark reminder of the immense scientific potential unleashed by war and the profound moral questions that come with it. It's a testament to the fact that even brilliant minds, under immense pressure, can be led down paths that ultimately fail. Discover the untold stories of WW2 secret weapons by watching our next deep dive.